Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle or the Exploracle for short. So if you're new here, what I usually do is I show you a deck from your personal collection, but this time around it's going to be something a little bit different. So for the first time in the 3 years that I have been collecting decks, I will be posting my entire tarot and oracle deck collection. I did try to categorize the decks so that it's more organized because I will be showing you almost 300 decks over the course of the next few weeks just to show off my entire collection. And as I show you each deck, I will be telling you a little bit about the deck, show you some of the cards, and I'm also going to decide whether it's a deck that I'm going to be keeping or if it's something that I'm not too sure about or if it's something that it will be leaving my collection. If that sounds interesting, then strap in because we are going to be going through my entire collection over the next few weeks, and I'll be putting all of these videos in one playlist so that you'll have a place to reference all of the videos once they're all up. Alright, so now that that is all out of the way, let's start with my first group of decks, which is of course my decks created by Filipino creators. You know, I love highlighting Filipino decks. I do love supporting Filipino indie deck creators. I do think that there is a lot of talent in the tarot deck community here in the Philippines, and also Filipinos are already living abroad. Of course, the criteria is still that the deck has to speak to me. So you might wonder why there are some, let's say, popular decks that are not in my collection, but it really has to work for me as well. So to start off this deck collection video, let us start with the Vanessa Tarot. So this is already a mass market deck. This was created by Leonard Narciso, and he's a Filipino deck creator. I have another one of his decks. I'll show it later. And it is a pocket-sized deck. And of course, it is called the Vanessa Tarot, so right off the bat, I know that I was going to love this deck. And it's cute, it's quirky. It references, I believe, some TV show characters or other famous female figures. They are familiar, but I don't really recognize them all. But I really do like this deck. It's cute, it's quirky, and fun. And yeah, it's just a nice deck to have. And of course, if you have a deck that's your namesake, of course you're gonna like it, right? So definitely this deck is something that I will be keeping in my collection. So these are the backs. And let's put that to the side. Okay, what do we have here? Next. Okay, this is the Future Ancestor Tarot, and it's accompanying guidebook. Now, this is by Alexa Luna Studio, and a little bit of a story. This deck, I purchased this deck about 2 years ago, but eventually, these are the backs. It's linen, which I really like, and I felt that I wasn't really connecting with it much, so I rehomed it, traded it for another deck, and for a while I didn't really miss it until recently when I saw it posted for trade again. It took a while, maybe several months, that I was just checking whether it was going to be picked up by another reader or another member of the group, and it wasn't. So eventually I asked the person if I could trade for it. And it turns out that that person was the person I actually rehomed this deck to originally. So this is my original deck. It has made its way back to me, but this time with an accompanying guidebook, the Future Ancestor Companion Guidebook, which is also one of the reasons why I rehomed it, because I felt I wasn't connecting with it well enough because it didn't have a guidebook. But now that it does, I've only worked with it once after it returned to me. But it was a very, very insightful reading. So I think this deck, even though I don't use it all that often, it is quite special and I would definitely be keeping it in my collection. Alright, next, this is the Imaginarium Tarot. This is by CJ Francisco, and I was actually disappointed by this deck. I was really let down by the cardstock. I wasn't happy about it at all. I share more of my thoughts on this deck in my video or my mini review of this deck, and I'll be putting the link up in the eye and down below as well in the description. Yeah, I don't like the cardstock. I still really like the art. And honestly, I was supposed to do a modification in this deck. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. I still really like the colors. I still really like the art, but I haven't used it. You know, since I filmed that video, I just kept it. And yeah, it's just difficult to work with because of this really weird cardstock. Not sure about this, to be honest, because I do have to spend more time with it by modifying it, but I don't really know that after I do if it's going to handle well. And I'm just thinking, you know, maybe someone else might appreciate it in its original form. So I would have to say for this deck, I'm going to be putting it in the maybe pile. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping it. But yeah, I have to think about it. So it won't even fit in my container. So let me just put that back. All right. So that is the third deck. Okay, so this one is a Lenormand deck. This is by Reina Regina. It is called the Resourceful Lenormand. And as you can see, I have not used this deck, but let me show you. This is a really beautiful Lenormand deck. I really like the aesthetic of this one. I still haven't really progressed much in my Lenormand studies so that I don't really jump from deck to deck. And actually, they do say you don't really need a lot of Lenormand decks because, you know, a whip is a whip, a birds, you know, but I like having different decks and different art styles. And this one is just feels so classic, so formal, so beautiful. I really enjoy the aesthetic of this deck, even though I haven't really used it. Cardstock, it feels okay. I think I wouldn't have any issues shuffling it. And yeah, I just really like the look of this deck. And it comes in this it comes with a pouch, and it comes in this like sliding box, which is also a nice touch. So yeah, I just keep can't put it back. Okay, so yeah, this is the Resourceful Lenormand, and definitely a keep in my collection. Another Lenormand deck. This is the Pag-asa Lenormand by Kevin Dones. Now, I did have one of his other decks before, the Quirky Creative Tarot, that I have since rehomed. But this is actually the Lenormand deck that I was using to learn initially before I got the Green Glyphs set from James R. Eads. This is very Filipino. I really like it. There are some extra cards here, and definitely a keep because it's like, look, it's a Baikubo. I can really connect to my Filipino roots here. It calls to me traditional Filipino attire for women. Yeah, so this one definitely a keep. Even though I don't read with Lenormand much, this is just very, very special, and I do definitely want to keep this in my collection. All right, so what else do we have here? Here. Oh, so this is the Southeast Asian Myths and Stories Tarot. So this is the deck that I mentioned that was also co-created by Jim Leonard Narciso. And it is actually a combination or a collaborative effort of different Southeast Asian artists. So I believe the main creator was Rowan Ong, but he collaborated with different artists across Southeast Asia. So aside from Leonard Narciso, there are some other Filipino artists that have art in this deck. And yeah, I will also be linking some of the reviews or the flip throughs that I originally made for some of these decks. And for this one, I love the colors, I love the imagery. The cardstock is a little bit thin. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it, if I like it or not, but it is definitely usable. And yeah, I love the colors. Even though it's a collaborative art deck, I think it's still a cohesive enough deck that I don't have any issues looking at the consistency of the theme and all that. So this is the Seams or the Southeast Asian Myths and Stories Tarot. Definitely a keep as well in my collection. Alright, next we have the Mystic Goddess Sigils Tarot. This is by Maria Haswell. It comes in this pouch, it comes in this tin box, and it's also there's also a dedication in the box, which is really nice. So, and as you can tell, or you can probably tell, I have not used this deck. So, let's open it up. Actually, I've had this deck at the start of, I think since starting with my collection, because I was initially trying to collect Filipino-made decks. So this was one of the first few decks that I did have. So it's been with me for almost 3 years, I guess, but I haven't really used it. So the reason for that is because it is a little bit intimidating to me because it is sigil based, but I do like it. It's traditional writing at the top, and most of the cards have also been renamed, so I stopped so I didn't use it because I was a bit intimidated. I haven't really decided whether I would start working with it or start learning about this deck, because I do have so many other decks that I haven't used yet. And I think that's the reason why I'm doing this collection video, is because I want to see what decks I really have right now. What do I feel about it? It is also bigger than standard tarot size. The backs are not reversible. I do like the print though. It's a traditional woven print. Batik, I think it's called. And yeah, it's even now looking at it, I'm not really sure how well I'm gonna be working with it, because as you can see, you do have the number, the element, and then a key phrase, but I'm not really sure it corresponds. So this 5 of fire, competitive, I guess. So yeah, powwow, I'm not sure. So it's hard to decide about this deck because I haven't used it at all. So probably, but basically I haven't used it in 3 years, so I don't really think I'm going to miss it. But yeah, I think it would only be fair. I mean, it wouldn't be fair for me to rehome this if I haven't used it yet. So this is going into the maybe pile for now. Okay. Right. Okay, so then let's move into the next deck. This is the Midnight Madness Tarot. This is by Isel Winters. So this is one of my favorite cardstocks for a Filipino-made deck, because I do feel the cardstock is where I'm usually let down. This one shuffles so well. I really enjoy shuffling this deck. The art style is also a little bit mysterious and dark, and definitely a lot of nudity here. I do like it though, so I don't really mind having this having nudity in my decks. And yeah, it's just a very much an RWS clone type deck. And for now, yes, I'm definitely going to keep this deck because I like shuffling it. I like the art. I like the matte edges. And yeah, this is the Midnight Madness deck by Isel Winters. And she also actually made a Lenormand, but I think I've already rehomed it. And she also made this, I believe, Oracle. Oh, sorry, that might have been very loud. So this is the... Okay, so I bought this 2 years ago. This was the candidate that I was supporting for president. She did not win, but the seller where I got this text from also was supporting this this candidate, which is why I think she made these beautiful tarot stickers. Obviously, I haven't used this deck before because it's still in its packaging. But yeah, this is an astrology-based deck, and also like an oracle-based deck with gods and goddesses. So I'm not really sure how to use it yet or how to incorporate it yet into my practice, which is why I haven't used it. But the art style is very much the same as the Midnight Madness. She has this entire collection. Again, I did have the Lenormand, but I did rehome that. I gifted it to a friend. And yeah, this one I haven't used. Not sure when I'll be using it, but but I think I will still be keeping it. Yeah, for now I will still be keeping this deck. Cardstock on this one is vastly different from the tarot though, so this one feels like the cardboardy kind that I don't really like, but it is small and yeah, so I don't have much of an issue, I guess. We'll put it back in its plastic, so I'm sorry for the noise, but yeah, keeping that for now. Okay, and then this one, or these two, are actually small oracle decks created by Almazora. So this is art by Almazora. These are two decks. The first one is an oracle deck called Untitled. So I got this primarily because of the art. She made this, and I find it really beautiful because this is watercolor. It's a type of art that I like. She does have keywords at the bottom. I don't really use this much since I got it. I look at it from time to time because I do like appreciating the art. This one is really beautiful. So is this one. But I don't read with it. And I think it's because it doesn't have... well, it does have a digital guidebook, I think. But I don't know. It's just too few cards, I think, to use as an oracle deck. So beautiful. So I just look at it, appreciate it in that sense. I also don't really like the cardstock much. Again, it feels like that cardboardy cardstock that most indie Filipino, at least the ones that I buy, have, and I don't really like it. This one is her latest oracle deck. This is the Y Oracle. And I love the art style here. Feels very much like an inner child deck. But again, so few cards. I think there's only 8. And I also had a misprint on one of the cards. Yeah, like the back of one of the cards is printed the opposite way around. And it isn't really that much of a big deal, but I don't read reversals because I don't like this reverse aesthetic on my deck. So it just kind of bothers me that it is not printed the right way up. So yeah, and again, so few cards. I don't really read oracles that are this few. But yeah, I do like the art. So For this one, maybe it's still a keep for now. All right. Okay, so this deck, this is the Corpus Femina Tarot. This is by Juvie Corpus. And I, again, will link a video of my flip through for this deck. And I gushed about this deck because I absolutely adore it. There's something about the art in this deck. Even though I'm not particularly a fan of like digital collage art, I just absolutely fell in love with this deck. The energy, the vibe, I get goosebumps working with this deck. And I really love looking at the images, the female form. It is quite diverse. Yes, I love this deck. Definitely safe in my collection. It's not something that I use regularly right now because, again, I have a lot of decks and I do have to rotate them out every once in a while. But this is really well done. You can see that the colors of the minors are also grouped. So we have for the fire, the cup suit, the sword suit, and the pentacles, the coin suit, and the corresponding elements. I think it's really a well thought of deck, and definitely something that I absolutely love. The one thing though that I don't like too much is the rose petal finish, but this one isn't really that sticky, so I don't mind it as much, and definitely a favorite among my decks. Definitely something that I would be keeping. This is the Corpus Femina Tarot. Okay, next, this is the Inklings Meditation deck by Guada Tagalog. And this is just, again, one of the issues, one of those decks that I own that feel cardboardy. I do like the size, and I love the art and the keywords, the simple keywords. I also once had her Crystal Calm deck. So it's another oracle deck that was this size, but I resonated with this one more, so I did rehome that one. And I love the keywords, very simple but really beautiful, detailed art. Also a bit sigilly, but you know, since it does have these keywords, and it is a meditation deck or an oracle deck, I don't really mind that it has these sigils. Really beautiful, really easy to use. I am planning to edge this deck in black or maybe gold, but yes, another keep. Even though I don't like the cardstock much, definitely a keep in my collection. So that is the Inklings Meditation deck. So we only have 3 more to go, guys. This one, okay, this is one of my favorites as well. I haven't shown this yet. Oh, I forgot who was the creator for this deck, but this is the Questions from the Cosmos Oracle deck, and I love it because it's so simple. I use it I use it as a spread creator, even when I don't really know what to pull or to ask. I use it. So it's mostly these prompts that are associated with astrology. So for which planet, for which house, for which moon phase. So like for the waning gibbous moon, which part of my life needs an advisor. I think this is a really versatile deck. You can use it as a journal prompt. You can use it as a spread creator. You can use it just as an oracle deck. I think, oh my gosh, I have to remember the name. Hold on, let me check. Okay, so the deck is created by Watson Vergara, or in Instagram, magic_IRL, so magic in real life. Yeah, so I don't think you can purchase the deck in a store, but you can message him. I got this by messaging him directly. And yeah, just one of my favorite little oracle decks that I think it's multi-use, multi-purpose. I also love the art, even though it is quite simple or minimal in terms of detail, but it is an astrology based deck, so I don't think you need much. Yeah, I just really love the prompts. There's a lot of cards, and even though the card stock, I complain about the card stock a lot, but I, I don't mind. I don't mind it with this deck. So I think that goes to show how much I really enjoy working with these questions from the Cosmos Oracle. The pouch is mine, so I mean, it doesn't come with a pouch or a box, if I recall. But yeah, I just put it in this little drawstring bag. Okay, so we've come to the end of my Filipino tarot deck collection, and we would be ending with with two decks that are new to me, like very new to me. It only arrived last week. These are both from Shingai Labrador, the creator of the Practical Magic Tarot, as well as the Quiet Mystic Oracle. I did rehome both of those decks because it's just not my art style, I feel. But I did purchase her newer deck. So this is the Extraordinary Incantations. It's a tarot oracle / affirmation deck, and the Telltale Tarot. So it is still wrapped in plastic. So let us unbox. I just want to show you. So the cardstock on this feels like linen. I like it. Nice. It's not reversible, but I don't really mind that. So the Telltale Tarot, it is a Marseille type tarot. The art style is also quite whimsical. The colors are a little bit muted. I like the cardstock. It feels really nice. And I'll show you the minors because this is a bit of a Marseille type deck. And so this is what it looks like. It feels like a playing card style. Very pippish. But there is keywords. Oh, sorry. There are keywords: energy, motivation, and stability. So this is for the Four of Wands. So this is what I like about this deck. Sorry, I keep doing it the other way around. And yeah. So I like, I purchased this deck because of the keywords. And I know some people don't really like keywords, but I don't know, I do. I really like it. I like having a reference, and I don't think it distracts from the deck. So yeah, the art style is something that I enjoy. I like the feel of the cards. It feels very easy to shuffle, which I enjoy. And definitely, since it's new to my collection, definitely a keep. I do plan on, I will be traveling with my family this June, and I am planning to take this deck with me in my travels. And the last one is the Extraordinary Incantations Tarot Oracle deck. Again, also by Shingai Labrador. Okay. So when this first came out, because I think this is the second printing, I really wanted to get it, but I wasn't sure. I like the art, but I wasn't sure if I would resonate with the affirmation style type thing on the cards. The cardstock here is very different. It feels like a smooth cardstock. It feels a lot more similar to her Practical Magic and Quiet Mystic cardstocks, but I do like it since it's a smaller form factor. But I think I love the Telltale Heart texture a lot more. So this one has affirmations on each card, which I think I will enjoy. I know that I recently also made a video about another deck that has that same kind of idea. You have an affirmation for each card, but that one didn't resonate with me. But this one, based on my initial on the other videos that I've seen, and just by looking at it now, I think that I will resonate with a lot more. So I am excited to work with it. I like the art style. It is minimalistic but also quite cute and quirky and fun. The Four of Cups. I wallow sometimes. Yeah, I think this one is going to be a deck that I enjoy working with. I am tempted to also bring this. Let's see. Gonna use it for a few times just to see which one I will be bringing with me, because we will be traveling, and I don't want to bring really big or heavy decks. So that's why these pocket decks would be perfect. But yeah, this is the Extraordinary Incantations. I'm not a fan of having words at the back of my cards, but yeah, that I would make an exception. So again, definitely a keep. Okay, so that is all of my Filipino tarot and oracle decks. Let me just show it again one more time. I'm not sure how I'm going to fit everything on the frame, but let's try. Oh, you won't be able to see. Yeah, let's put it like that. Pag-asa Lenormand, Inklings, my favorite Corpus Feminine. Oh no. My favorite Corpus Feminine Tarot, the Mythos Astrologica, the Y Oracle, the Midnight Madness. Oh my gosh, it's falling. And the Mystic Goddess Sigil. So I just blocked that. Okay. So it's definitely a mess, but there you have it. In this pile, I think I have 2 or 3 in the maybe. No outright rehomings. Most of them I will be keeping. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be linking down the links of where you can get these decks, or where you can get some more information about these decks, because I think some might not be in print anymore, because for Filipino decks, I think they mostly print limited quantities. But yeah, I love showing off my Filipino-made decks, and I hope you enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed showing them to you. So watch out for my next few videos, for the rest of my collection, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!